Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Today we are bringing you another shelf or sell segment. Now you jump in.
What?
Yeah, now you jump in. Okay. Well, anyways, this week our middle game.
That combination of dropping the knife, the dog shaking its collar underneath, and me pausing has this being a strong start to our shelf or sell series.
Restart?
No.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're swinging into our shelf or sell series where we break down
5 games that are staying, 5 games that are leaving, and 1 that we are torn about and we are giving another chance.
Based off of the audience's feedback, of course. We're back to our normal format. For a while there, we twisted the levers and knobs. We were on the road. We did $1,000 coming, $1,000 going. Now we're getting back to the classics. We are still ripping apart my board game collection and deciding what we're keeping on our Kallax shelves and what needs to leave. And today we have, I'd say, a few doozies, honestly.
Yeah. So, Food Chain Magnate. How do you feel about this one?
I really love Food Chain Magnate, aside from the fact that it is a hard game to table, hard game to teach, and I have very few friends, if any, who are willing to sit down more than once every 6 months to get a gameplay in.
You don't know your friends. You don't know your new friends then. You have new friends who would willingly play this game every single day of every week.
I have brand new friends that I think you're 100% right about. But
I think we're talking about different friends, but you have a plethora of friends now who want to play this.
Yeah, so this one's actually scaling up for me. I just learned it recently. I destroyed Alex in a gameplay, which was so satisfying, and I love this game.
And I've had awful experiences with it.
Is common.
Yes, I just get really introduced to games too early in my experience. I was introduced to a trial game and had probably the worst setup on the board, which put me at a negative disposition or disadvantage from the other 3 more experienced players who had played this at least 5-10 times more than me. And it did not lead to me feeling positive about this game.
You were also young in your hobby career.
This was probably at least a year ago. I could look up the date to be exact.
We're talking within the first 100 games you ever played.
No, within the first 400.
Oh, okay. You're like 800 deep, maybe 900 deep.
Yeah, I'm saying it was about a year ago. I tried this too soon. And I didn't like it. And as time has gone by, I am willing to give it another chance. Especially because just like 5 minutes ago, I realized that a game I really enjoyed playing this week, thus, is by the same people as Food Chain Magnate.
Yeah, I personally would like to have every Splotter game in my collection, but if it's something that's not being played, it becomes harder and harder to justify. I think we can table this one, but the question is, we need to. And if you continue to hate it, you're a core part of my game group. Mm-hmm. If you refuse to play Food Chain Magnate, there's a chance I just play other friends' copies, because if they like this game, they'll own this game. If they don't like this game...
I know someone who you could gift it to who would be so thrilled.
Who?
Akiva.
Oh, really?
This is one of his all-time favorite games.
Nice.
Akiva and Ezzy both adore this.
Food Chain Magnate, off to the side. We are going to get it to the table one day soon, and leave a comment down below. Should it stay? Should it go? Have you even tried it? Because that would be impressive to me. Let's talk about the game that you brought up, because you sort of cut it to the chase.
So, Bus is another game by Food Chain Magnate, all about creating your own bus routes.
On my top 10 of all time.
It holds his number 1 place.
This was at my number 1.
I do not think it should. I do think it is a very nice game, but I disagree with its placement on his top 10
Our
list.
last gameplay reinstated why I'm proud. They had me, Alex was making fun of me, she was making fun of me, and it reinstated why I feel very comfortable saying this is one of, if not other than Kingdom Death, one of, if not my favorite game of all time.
Every single other person in your game group does not understand why this is your top game.
It's okay. Alex has never played it. This game is one of the most elegant, interesting games. I love every mechanic of it. I love every action and turn. I love the way your mind thinks constantly while playing. It's one of the few games that rivals the experience on the table without the camera as it does with the camera. I love playing games with the camera. I do, because everyone's engaged in the puzzle. Bus is one of those games that requires everyone to maintain engagement the duration of the gameplay. Every action you have matters. It is so tight and efficient. There are very few points flying around. If you make one single mistake...
What everyone else does also matters.
What everyone else does matters so much. And your actions are limited. You could be farther along in the game than your friends or your opponents. I love this game.
Yeah. I hear. I disagree, but I hear.
You disagree with it being number one.
Yes.
You don't disagree with keeping it or playing it.
No, I think it is a great game. We are keeping it definitely, and I want to play it a lot more.
Yeah. It's also mean.
It is, and I enjoy it.
Which I love. I love every aspect of this. Oh, it's so good. All right, off to the side. Silk by Devere Games. We
picked this up at Gen Con this year.
Yep.
We have played it. We have covered it on the channel. And it is one that is just not right for us. And we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, I enjoyed getting into this. But this continues to establish the concept that games that Shut Up and Sit Down love really don't match up with me. I'm working on a top 10 list of 10 games Shut Up and Sit Down are wrong about. Yeah. And it's not that they're wrong about those games. They have different tastes than me, and it's important when you digest content, like a lot of you are realizing as we break down our collection, sometimes we match with you, sometimes we don't, and both things are useful. I wanted to pick up this game so desperately after I watched that original Shut Up and Sit Down review. It was so funny with the worm the entire time. Like, it's one of the most entertaining pieces of content they've made.
I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
Here's the thing. They loved the experience of the game, and I didn't. I thought it was a solid game. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was interesting, but it's too random. It's too open-ended. Yeah. It just doesn't give me enough control over what I'm doing, and it has a take that element that feels bad to implement and feels bad to receive.
Yeah, I'm 100% on the same page with you.
Yeah. So, Silk. This one is stepping out of our collection.
You know you've held it upside down this entire time.
You know, I had a comment.
We don't always see the front cover.
We see the back cover. I had a comment that I read that I really enjoyed. Someone said, because I didn't even realize any games were upside down. And someone commented and said, I love when you hold the games upside down. It makes it so much more real. And I'm like, this is real. That's the whole concept of this. Can we double check this one?
I just did. Sure? I did before I gave it to you.
Rolling Realms. Rolling Realms is going to be from Stonemaier Games.
You and Alex have played this quite a lot this past week or two.
I'm loving this game.
It's a roll and write.
It's a roll and write. Yep, yeah. It's a roll and write.
I have not gotten a chance to play it.
We're going to have to play it.
I've been at work all the times you've played it.
It's a roll and write that integrates every single title that Stonemaier Games has into the core system.
Interesting.
You're doing little puzzles from every single game, and to me, it sounds dumb, it sounds gimmicky, it sounds like a game I wouldn't like. It sounds like a cheap advertisement for all of their other games.
How does Shut Up and Sit Down feel about it?
I have no idea, but I know how I feel about it. It's really good. Every puzzle is crunchy, the way they integrate together, and the solo element of this game, the little golf course score, the best score you can get over a series, Alex and I have been loving it. Good. So, Rolling Realms, this is probably, right now, I think Cartographers is my favorite roll and write of all time.
I want to establish our roll and write collection because there are a bunch that I've played with Alex and Rena that I want to get into.
We're going to have to do a roll and write week or something.
Ganshan Clever, That's So Clever, is one of my favorite ones, and I want both versions of it. Welcome to...
We need to do a roll and write week.
We do.
Like, the entire week just dedicated to every escalation of roll and writes, and then at the end of it, we do our top 10.
Fabulous.
Or break down literally all of them.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Either way, Rolling Realms is probably in my top 3 right now. I really, really like what it does. Cool. And I shouldn't like what it does, because to me, I wrote it off. I wrote it off so hard.
Let's play it.
Yeah.
Bullet.
The funny thing is, I think Rolling Realms is the best game Stonemaier Games has put out since Scythe.
Wow.
Bullet by Level 99.
So I don't actually know if this game is staying or going. I know my thoughts on it.
Ooh, tell me your thoughts. What do you think it's doing?
I'm actually quite neutral about it. I'd be fine if it stayed, and I'd be fine if it went.
Interesting.
I enjoyed the gameplay that we had. It was a fun gameplay on the channel.
Only gameplay you've had?
I believe only gameplay I've had.
Okay, I've played a few times.
I enjoyed it. I would like to play it again, but I won't cry if I don't ever get a chance to.
Yeah, I'm very charmed by this game. It's one of the best arcade simulators I've played, with a lot of take that in between. It's not the perfect game for me yet, But Bullet is staying in the collection. They have an expansion coming out with more modules, more characters. I still need to run it solo,
you
which I'm
played the
intrigued
character
by.
who was sick, like in a hospital, in a wheelchair or something.
A ghost.
Yeah.
I'd already died.
Yeah, that's cool.
I really like Bullet quite a lot. Enough that I'm putting it on the shelf in part of our permanent collection. Does it stay forever? I don't know. But I want to get another 5-6 plays in, and then we'll see. Then we'll have a conversation. But for now, Bullet from level 99, you are sticking around.
A game that is going and leaving our collection with its upgraded component pieces that you can check out that video. Yes, Quacks of Quedlinburg, folks, is leaving our collection.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay, Quacks of Quedlinburg is staying in our collection, even if I have to use a veto power on it.
Oh, I might make you use a veto power
You
on
need to
it.
play it again with me.
I
Just to see if you're wrong. Just to see if you're wrong.
This is probably one of the most despised games that I have on my list.
I don't understand why.
I don't like it. Don't like the rat tails. I don't like the bag building. I don't like how my pot exploded every single time I played. I don't like it.
I really enjoy the push your luck and the modules, especially with the Herb Witch expansion. This game just gets messy and good. It's fun to play. It's tense when you're pulling things out of the bag.
Rolling Heights is my favorite push your luck game right now. Is it Rolling Heights? You know the game I'm talking about. The one where you roll your meeples.
It's not out yet. No one's even seen coverage of it yet.
I know. We have a recorded gameplay, but that's so far my favorite push your luck game. After that would probably be Cubitos.
Get out of here. Kick Cubitos off the shelf.
No.
Ugh.
No. Cubitos is so much better.
Quacks of Quedlinburg. It's lovely, and I'll get it to the table with a lot of people. And I have the upgraded components. It's so nice. It's so nice.
This is a game that is not going anywhere.
This game is leaving immediately.
Never.
It's going straight downstairs so that we can continue playing it.
Right side up. This game was fantastic. We have at least 2 recorded gameplays, much more about behind the scenes. The cake is real, Jan, in case you're watching. I loved this. This was such a fun
Unsettled.
game.
What a
my
remarkable puzzle that you can play.
Yeah.
We have all the modules downstairs. It's one of the games that you and I are happy to dig into together because it's really like it's like an escape room in a box in a way.
Orange Nebula is fantastic with this game. Oh, really, really enjoyed meeting them at Gen Con and so happy to do coverage on this game.
Yeah.
And we have more expansions to do. And I would just like to really dive into it and go scenario after scenario and scenario. I don't know if we can play the one that me and Jan have already played because you know what the situation is, but I don't know. So that's a question, the replayability of it.
I think it's fully replayable because I think you can play it with new people or the ones that we've lost. We've enjoyed going back and trying to complete them again.
I hear.
Like, you know the puzzle now. There's no more surprises, but now you have to win. And a lot of them we haven't won.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a puzzle there worth exploring. Oh, down to the side of the game board tables.
Trogdor, the board game. So I know this in the context of it is Alex's kids' one of their most favorite games.
Yeah. I was actually shockingly surprised by Trogdor. It is fun. It is glitchy, just like the comic. I have a gameplay up online. I've enjoyed this game, but I'm gonna give it to my friend. The friend Michael Matthews, who I played this originally with.
Yeah.
He loves it. He has a daughter coming of age that'll be able to sit down with him. You know, she's with him. She's with him full time now. I will never table this myself.
Yeah.
But Mike already knows how to play it. He already knows that he loves it. This is going to be a gift. We're actually visiting him here in about a week. And so this needs to be on the shelf so we can go down and hand this off to him. Because
I like that decision.
Because I won't enjoy this game the way that him and his kid can.
Perfect.
So, Trogdor, it's a good game. It's just not... Yeah. It just doesn't need to stay.
It's a fantastic game. And maybe one day, if there's a family around, we'll play it again.
Maybe, yeah. The Grim Forest. You ever play this one?
I have not. So it's interesting. The only reason why I know this title is because this was in your Kentucky collection. It was on the list of games to sell. Yeah. And and a lot of people actually asked about it, but I never actually got it sold to anyone. The
Grim Forest is going to be a game from Druid City, which is now Skybound. This is a really, really pretty game. It's sort of like an escalated, not Catan, but it has some of the elements of Catan. It's resource management with a little bit of like worker placement allocation. You're doing your very best to build your various huts. You're trying to slowly establish the pigs' huts, right? Going from wheat to wood to clay, all the way up so the big bad wolf can't blow them down. It's full of great fairy tales and great themes.
That's so cool.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've owned it for a long time. This was one of the games that I entered the hobby in. Played Catan, played this at a game store. Loved it so much.
That you went out and got it.
Went out and got it, and then I haven't played it since.
Yeah. You seem to have that problem. We should curb that problem.
Well, we are curbing it.
I mean, no, you just got Age of Steam. You played it and you liked it. Let's see when you get it to the table next.
Soon. So soon. The Grim Forest is a lovely game. It really is. It's just not one that I need to have in my collection. I have almost no reason to get it to the table. Plays at a younger and more family-oriented player count than what I prefer.
You might be able to get some of my family members who have kids. Some of my nieces and nephews might enjoy it.
Possibly. But yeah, it's a great game. Great minis. Great everything. One of the first games that I saw that was fully deluxeified in retail, but I don't need it.
A Game of Thrones Catan. So, staying or going?
Ooh.
This is the Brotherhood of the Watch. And it's nice because I actually know the context of this. I've been working my way through this TV series, and I'm on season 5, so no spoilers down below, please.
I've owned this game for maybe 3.5 years.
I see it's still in shrink.
I bought this. So you like seeing, the quarters are still decent in it too. I bought this when I still loved Catan. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't love Catan, but when I still loved Catan.
And when you were obsessed with Game of Thrones?
And when I was obsessed with Game of Thrones. I spent like a premium on Amazon. Like I'm talking like $110 or something like that. On a game that's now worth like $30.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know why. For some reason I thought it was going to be limited or collectors, and I got it. I haven't opened it, because I then did research like 6 or 7 months after. I was actually think I bought this when I was planning on covering it on the channel, maybe. So maybe like 3 years.
Okay.
Because I thought that doing Game of Thrones paired with Catan
would be
a catch. Like, people are going to watch that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I did research, and the first reviews that came out were like, the wall module's fine, interesting, but you don't really get hurt by the whites that much, and you can't control for it that much, and it's just a different... It's Catan with a module that's okay, but not better than regular Catan. And I became disenfranchised, and now...
Disenchanted is the word you're looking for.
And disenfranchised, because I lost so much money when it came to the cost of the game. I don't need it in my collection. I'm not going to open it up. No one's begging for Game of Thrones Catan coverage on the channel.
If you have one person in the comments begging for it, will you open it up and play?
One person?
5 people. I'm just curious what your number is.
If I've got 10 people in the comments begging for Game of Thrones Catan, maybe.
I'm just curious where your number's at.
I mean...
I haven't played Catan in such a long time that I actually want to play a version. Well, actually, Alex has a copy of Catan on his list that he has to play with
Starfarers, which is supposed to be one of the better versions.
So I hope to join him on that gameplay.
Yeah, I'm happy to do Starfarers, and maybe Starfarers Catan is the one that we actually end up owning.
I'd like to own a Catan because there's a lot of people who enter the hobby through Catan. Yeah. They know the base game.
That's why we have 6 versions of Monopoly in the back.
Yeah, of course. And if you could bridge them through a version that they don't know yet.
We don't need this one. We don't need this one. If you leave a comment, you might fall on deaf ears. We're not sure. We're not sure.
Last but not least.
Right Busters.
By Mythic Games.
Do you enjoy killing Nazis?
That's a trick question. Yes. I enjoy killing Nazis.
Okay.
Did I enjoy this? Did I enjoy this game?
You're sounding very anti-Semitic.
Did I enjoy this game?
No, you didn't.
I couldn't make it through an entire playthrough. I quit in middle, and I don't very frequently do that. I'm speechless because I thought this game was so awful.
I actually thought the game was pretty cool. Besides the fact that it was hard to table. Rules were a little messy. Some of the cards were a little messy. There was a lot of little middling mechanics that you have to A/B test. But I like the sound element. I like the dungeon crawl. I like exploring. I like the theme. I like a lot of the fun puzzle. But you are insisting I either have to use a veto or it's going.
I will play it one more time, but it is definitely going. And you would have to use a veto to keep it. That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm willing to play. I played it. It was a while ago, and I don't know how my skills and understanding of
They also have a new rulebook and a new module out.
That might be it. It
might help.
The theme of it is appealing because I know the history around it pretty well.
Not the history, necessarily. I mean, this isn't quite how it happened.
No, but, I mean, I know the context of it.
It's fun. It's a fun World War II, go back and, fuck some things up, so.
I'd play it again, but then it's leaving.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to use a veto on this. I would like to table it again. I'd like to even do a little bit of coverage, maybe gameplay online, show it off a bit more.
Okay.
But in terms of the size that it takes up on the shelf and the fact that you don't like it and it's hard enough for me to table, I don't know that we can justify holding on to it.
Deal.
So, with that, how are you feeling about the collection so far? We're really approaching that 50-game threshold where we do a double back on everything.
I mean, I believe we have to get to 50 keeps and 50 sells,
50
so
keeps
100.
And 50 sells.
So it's like, this I believe is the 6th or 7th episode. So we have another 3 more episodes before.
And then we're doubling back with a full 50 collection, 50 game update. We have to
start playing the middle games very soon.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're making headway on them. We have some more coverage coming out on a few of them.
Yeah. I'm liking it. I'm excited. We bought 2 new Calyxes.
You know the interesting thing?
What?
By the time we get to 50, we will have had 10 middle games.
Yeah.
Which means the shelf or sell segment on that 50
can be an
update on the full split of the middles.
Mm-hmm. We should keep the middles then until that point.
Which we didn't do in an earlier episode, but we can
bring it back.
Ruminate on that a little bit. Cool. I like that concept. Good thought. Strategy session. Over. Disengage.
So we just got 2 new Calyxes for the basement because 3 Calyxes in the house is definitely not enough for your game collection, which is so fascinating to me. We will be a 5 Calyx house as of next week. Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, which is brutal because one of the Calyxes is all prototypes. One of the Calyxes is all cell.
And then one Calyx is all key.
Coverage.
And coverage. So and then one in the middle.
So we have a middle, we have a coverage, we have a cell,
we have a shelf,
we have a keep,
and then we have a prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do a whole shelf or cell episode on prototypes.
You just need... You need a second house to store all your games.
That's a great idea. Would you like me to move out? Is that what you're insisting?
Yeah. Okay. Go get another house.
Great. Well, this has been a episode of Shelf or Sell. I'm going to start looking for a new address again.
Jesse's on the market.
Anyone need a roommate with 5 Calyxes worth of games? Let me know.